The internet. It's not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Surely anyone here has defined what net neutrality is. Tangled up tubes. I just the other day got internet was sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I got it's a series of tubes.
It's a series of tubes.
Getting better at the transitions.
Tubes.
Less quiet, but
Tubes.
more on it. Tubes. Okay, speaking of tube, hold on.
Two, as in toot.
Be
And tube are not the same thing.
No, but she was behind my chair, which makes it very difficult to sit in an appropriate position.
I see Rob Paget in the chat room.
Did you really? I thought
Which
Tanya.
I think is hilariously funny. Do you know why?
Why?
Because we're doing animated series today.
Oh, even though
And
we're not animated.
We spent some time watching a series today that we can't even share with you because I haven't been able to get a hold of Justin and get the proper kind of trailer that I wanted to use.
Well, no, we can show what we have because I got it, but
Okay, because we are going to show like the intro to it.
right, but it's not the intro to the whole.
I spent some time with Rob Paget's voice today.
Did you really?
Watching a sketch 22.
Now, could you pick it out?
Kate and Will plus 8. No, I couldn't pick it out. Even after I knew it was him, I couldn't pick it out.
The only time I could really pick it out, and maybe this is just the weirdness of my brain, was when he was the Queen. They were like, I don't know why, but there were little things, and I was like, wait a minute. So.
I didn't even know it was him until you told me.
What?
So I would never have known.
Well, you've had chat room problems.
And
lately.
I would have never known that Marilyn Ann Michaels was in that.
Yeah.
Love her. Big fans of her.
Devin Mills was in the Palin one.
Devin Mills was Sarah Palin.
Sarah Phelan.
Sarah Phelan, I'm sorry.
Phelan?
Sarah Phelan.
Sarah Phelan. She did not say the P word.
And Rob did the music for that.
Of course he did.
Which of course he did.
'Cause he's a genius.
If it's not one Rob, it's the other Rob.
Right? Robbie,
Right?
Robbie, Rob.
So hello everybody. Hello Rob and Tanya. Hello. Seth
I think
is
Michael's
there.
in the room.
Michael Caruso is in the room. Michael Caruso of Divanity. Divanity of which will be releasing, launching their season 2 trailer tomorrow.
Who, I love Michael because he gets bored.
I love Michael because he already let us see the trailer.
I know.
Season 2 of Divanity is going to kick ass. In case you didn't assume that already, it is really, you are in for a treat tomorrow with this trailer. The show looks impossibly more beautiful than it did last season.
I didn't say you sound queenie. I just said that I could tell. I don't know. It was an inflection.
But it looks like, does it not look better? Even better. I mean, I thought Divanity looked fantastic the first season.
Yeah. No, I think it looks.
And no
really
pesky
good.
sound problems to yell at Michael for.
I noticed in the trailer, but that's a trailer.
But that's only a trailer, Michael. Better make sure there's no sound problems in that season. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm a little angry about the IAWTV voting.
Oh, we're gonna do that now.
No, not right this second.
Okay.
Because we're talking right now about Divanity's trailer.
I was gonna say, what
Alana
weird
Stewart was in that trailer. Did you see
segue.
her?
I saw.
I'm
Weird
saying.
transition. Everyone was in that trailer. Everyone was in that
I
trailer.
love Michael's character, and all his divinity is not for sale.
Because it's not.
Divinity is
Ever,
not
ever,
for sale.
ever,
I have
ever,
jewels
ever.
right back. Give me some jewels. Give me some jewels. Ooh. Give me some Divinity jewels here.
They can't see that.
You can't. Well, take the damn logo away.
They can see the peanut, but they can't see.
Jewels.
There. The blue ones. Did we get Cricket's favorite? Because she likes the dark blue.
I want, like,
You want it.
that would suit me, would it not? I think.
No, that's still not the right one. I thought the purple one was the one.
Well, I kind of like the green.
Oh, is that Cricket's one? Yeah.
And then
Cricket
the
liked that
earrings,
one.
too. Oh, but they have to match, right? Yeah, we have a problem.
It was awesome getting a box of these, I have to say.
Yeah, we play with these all the time. That's terrible, but we do. We play with them.
At least, we're not like Felicia Day. We're not playing with ourselves.
I love that video. Felicia, if you haven't seen the video of Felicia Day playing with herself, i.e. playing the
just
Dragon Age DLC.
Oh, why'd you have to ruin it? Now nobody's going to check it out.
Yeah, they will. She's still playing with herself.
You have to say, that's what it is. It actually says Felicia Day playing with herself for real.
So make sure that you go to sfntv.com tomorrow to check out the Divinity Season 2 trailer.
It's an uncut.
And keep your eyes on the SFN network.
Yeah.
I would say is a tip from us to you. Yeah?
Yes. Back on so Cricket can hide her face behind the banner.
There's another little video that I want to talk about.
Okay. Which one would that be?
Can we talk about the hot mess? Can we talk about the hot mess
Can we talk about Brendan Bradley's mullet? Can we talk about that?
I wish we could show it. I wish Steve had gotten back to me before we went to air.
I know, because I was ready to nab it and have a little musical, this next commercial brought to you by Pretty Bling, and then go straight into that. It's fantastic.
It is hilarious.
Right down to the lip sync.
Sam Pancake is one of the funniest people on the planet. I'm telling you right now. And Kirsten Vangsness, she walks a mean walk.
She does walk a mean walk. And
humps a mean Brendan Bradley.
Can you say that? Can you say that Kirsten Vangsness is a mean humper?
She humped Brendan Bradley and kissed him. I was like, yeah.
Woo! Wait a minute.
Because I was all wanting to lift up that mesh shirt and go, them for real? Is that whole six-pack thing going on in Brendan's stomach real?
Yeah, it is. You saw it in Squatters.
I know. I love it.
And Mega Man. When he was Mega Man.
Mega Man! Almost bought a Mega Man t-shirt yesterday.
We did. We were at one of the local comic book stores and there was a Mega Man shirt. And it was like,
not that we go to comic book stores or antique vintage toy stores.
No,
like
ever.
We were yesterday. And pawn shops looking for cheap-ass video games.
Right? But no, we were in the store and we saw it and I was like, yeah, but it makes me want to re-screen print it with Brendan Bradley's face on the little Mega Man.
If they knew the kind of video games they played, they would think something was wrong with me if they knew what I played.
There is something wrong with you. Inherently wrong with you. It's okay.
Condemned. Fear. Dead Space.
Rob would like us to send him some jewels.
Rob would like some jewels?
Or Michael, because he's queen, after all. The queen.
And yeah, see, Tanya's ahead of the game. She's already following SFN on Twitter.
See?
There's big things coming to SFN.
She didn't even know it.
Gotta watch it. Gotta check it out. Keep your eye on those guys. Keep your eye on them. And you're going to be going there to their website, sfntv.com, tomorrow to see the Divinity trailer for Season 2. We're doing animated shows today. Did I mention that?
Did you notice we're extremely animated?
Wow, we are! And I'm going to miss Lost Girl tonight, but you know why I'm so animated? I'm getting ramped up. I'm going to a private tech sale tonight.
She got a special invite to a private tech sale that's for what, 2.5 hours? 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. From
2 hours.
7:30 to 9:30.
2 hours, invitation only.
Yeah, so you get to go do that. But, the cool part is, and this is so bad.
25% off used video games.
I hid some shit. Because we did recon yesterday.
47% off tablets. Refurbished tablets.
Yeah, they had
25% off used video games, 15% off all video game accessories.
Right. See, and I'm
hoping that the person that I'm taking as my guest feels like being gifty.
Feels like being gifty. I have a list. It's a serious list, but not really. But no,
camera equipment.
We went on recon yesterday.
GPS and phones.
And I hid some shit.
You did hide some shit yesterday. I'm just kind of hoping that what I was looking at is still there.
I told you I could hide it.
It'll be there.
I am the shit when it comes because okay, look, all stores restock unless you've either worked in one of these stores or been in them long enough to know all the freaking nook and crannies. And so much so that I can tell you what Walmart was built in what year based on the style and the layout of the thing. That's how bad I am. But so in the Best Buy, if you want something hidden after you do your little Indie Intertube run in the electronics department, putting up web shows on everything.
Which we did yesterday.
Woo! And we converted a couple more people to watching.
Our new look here looks fantastic.
On a tablet.
On the BlackBerry Playbook.
Yeah. It looks great on that new
on
e-reader.
the Samsung, on the new e-reader,
on that little Acer Iconia, and that new Motorola Razr Android phone. Looks fantastic on that. But yeah.
You have brought curvy girls back, Tanya. We don't even need to go there. But I need to lose weight because, you know.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
What are you talking about?
I was reading in the chat room.
Why are you talking about losing weight?
Because Tanya said she wants to bring curvy girls back.
Curvy girls are fucktastic. So...
Well, okay then. So I'm a little animated because I'm going to go, you know, get some discounted stuff tonight, right. I hope. But perhaps not. And if not, then that's fine too.
That's fine. Were we not feeling gifty downstairs?
Well, I'm sure there's gifty, but I don't know. I mean, what if I don't find anything I want and your stuff is gone?
That's true. That could happen.
See? You know, it could happen.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody knows where I hid the shit.
I don't think anyone's going to pop out like I thought they would the other day and perhaps give me a Dell laptop.
You might get an HP.
You know, the high-end, like, XPS.
You might get an HP.
Laptop, really, or perhaps, you know, Alienware Tower.
No.
The Aurora.
But, you know, there is CES.
Yes.
So... Or a Windows Nokia phone. I said it. You've converted me.
I want a Windows phone. Bad. I've now converted her to wanting a Windows phone. All it took was playing with the Windows phone.
It was bad.
Playing with the interface.
She gave me the Windows 7 interface, and I played with it on my iTouch.
Because in case you didn't know, if you want to try out a Windows phone without trying out a Windows phone, there's actually a website that you can go to, and we'll find the link and put it up.
Right.
There's actually a website that you can go to that will allow you, through their website, to embed
the interface.
They've embedded the Windows phone interface in the website right down to the touchscreen. And you can bring it up on an iPhone, you can bring it up on an iTouch, you can bring it up on any touchscreen phone. And it allows you to simulate what having a Windows phone would be.
Yeah. Now you don't get to just like go nut shit on it. It's sort of structured. It's kind of like a tutorial sort of setup. But I played with it on my iTouch, and I have an iTouch instead of an iPhone because, you know, I like music and I can use Skype on it. I don't need the phone. But yeah, so now I want a Windows 7 phone.
It's very much like the Zune. It's very Zune-tastic.
It is, but
And you like my Zune.
Pissed the hell off at Bell. But I'm not getting...
We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get into that.
But Bell Mobility, you suck ass. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I still have my phone through them.
I don't care. I still do too.
We almost got two... Okay, let me just tell you what happened.
Preface it.
We went into the Bell store. And... we have like family plan style phones, and all three of us had phones, and all three of our phones are at the end of their contract.
They're on their upgrade.
And they're on their upgrade, and I happened to ask about a Windows phone. They had the HTC HD7, which is a phone that I liked, and they had two of them left in the store, and the guy said, the Windows phone, this one, is free on a 1-year contract, which is perfect, because at that point, we're not going to be here as much.
Right.
As we are now, as often as we are now. We're going to be in the States more. We'll probably get a phone down there. So we'll be in BC a lot over the next 6 to 8 months.
Right, but if we
But then after that, and also a 1-year phone contract would have been perfect. And then he goes, "Oh, you're current Bell customers now." Because we both have Canadian phones as well as US pay-as-you-go phones. And it's like, "Oh, you're current customers. Well, you only get the phone free for a 2-year contract."
But you can get we can sign you up for a 1-year since you're up for renewal, but you still have to pay the full price of the phone. And I'm like, well, technically that would work if you signed up for a phone and I signed up for a phone and she re-signed up for a phone downstairs, and it's and we, because we're talking.
But I don't want to talk phones. Let's not talk phones. Let's just not.
No.
They lost the sale and we don't have phones.
All I was saying is, you know what? You would have had 2 to 3 phone sales. You would have had more data plan and more money coming into your pocket. But because we're a loyal customer, that's not so much.
Besides, the one I really want.
The Nokia.
Is the Nokia Lumia 800.
But I think it's going to be like $800 fucking dollars.
I know.
Sorry.
So we're moving
anyway,
on.
Nokia,
and there's Stephanie's
Microsoft. CES.
Stephanie's here. Stephanie's here. Stephanie is
here. Probably coming to rein it in,
Okay,
ladies.
So we're going to be talking about animated shows today.
Yeah.
And not the animated shows that you probably know of in this space. Not like Red versus Blue.
You know who else is in the room? Bernie Sue.
Mr. Compulsions.
Sorry.
Not the animated shows that you probably know, like the LeBrons or Red versus Blue. or any of those like kind of
like
common
machinima.
web series. That's more like machinima, but
I wouldn't consider
or even
that
Aiden
animated.
5, which I would consider partially animated.
No, it's digital.
Digital still. No, it's
kind of
hand
like
drawn.
machinima. I know, but it's still anyway, go. Different.
These are going to be ones that perhaps may have fallen through the cracks, perhaps you didn't know about. And Sketch 22, we're going to cover them, you know, later on. Hey, if you guys just check out the Windows Phone. Just check it out. Go to the website. We got to find that. We got to post that.
I know.
It's very cool because really it is kind of funny if you have a friend with an iPhone to get them to run this little embedded like web thing, because it looks like you've got an iPhone running Windows 7 phone. It's funny. Anyway, I miss how solid my flip phone was closing. It's right up there. Anyway, there's a new... I was talking to everybody about the Boxy TV antenna. The Boxy TV USB tuner that's coming, that you plug into the back of your box, into the back of the Boxy, and it tunes in over-the-air high-definition channels. Not going to be here for Christmas, which sucks. And I have to say, not very smart, Boxy. You should have shipped it in December rather than January, because man, at $50 it's a steal. But it won't be here until after Christmas, which I think is pretty shitty, actually.
I agree.
But we're going to be talking animated web series today. We only have a few. It's going to be interesting. One of them even looks like machinima, but it isn't. But I want to say something about... the Indie Intertube Awards. The Indie Intertube Awards will be in February, but I'm not talking about that. The IAWTV award voting.
Oh, are we going there now?
We're going to go there. We're going to go there for just a couple of minutes. Gotta go there.
You can't go there for a minute. Oh. Well, okay, we're doing this now.
Yes.
All right.
Finishing up the voting, and we did, I am proud to say, we voted, both of us.
In every category. And finished it.
Cast a vote for every single submission in every single category.
Yes. And we did it with like 20, not even 18 minutes to spare.
18 minutes to spare before it was over.
There's
the
also...
last couple of categories that I had to go through, I started to think, and I know you're all not. I love you creators, and I know that you're not deluded.
No.
None of you.
For the most part.
But I started to think... perhaps you were. And that's because the last couple of categories that I went through are clearly ones that many of you did not understand.
Just a little...
Don't be harsh.
Stupid.
Don't be harsh. That perhaps when you were nominating your shows in this particular category, you took temporary...
You lost your goddamn mind.
leave of your senses. Temporary leave of your senses.
Blew right the fuck out.
And after that, perhaps you came to your senses and just couldn't stop it. But let me explain. Let me explain to you what best interactive / social media experience actually means. For one, it doesn't mean for you, the creator.
No, I don't want
or for your host, or for your crew. You guys' interactive experience
can't
give
be
a
for
shit,
you.
Okay, it isn't about that. Best interactive / social media experience should have had a little parentheses area at the end that said for the viewer.
Because really, I could give two shits if you spend 20 hours on your own content about how interactive that is for you. That's not interactive for me.
And let me also reiterate.
It's like you being just...
I voted on there was a lot of no's in that category.
Yeah.
And I'm not pointing out any show in particular, and this is not the fault of the IAWTV or anybody on the awards committee who busted their asses and gave you blood, sweat, and tears to get that ready, especially David Nett and the work that he put into the actual voting system. But having a Twitter...
And it's not the people who made the categories either.
No.
It has nothing to do...
No, because I thought the category was pretty fucking self-explanatory.
Right.
Not having a Twitter
Illiterate.
is not an interactive social media experience for your viewer.
If that is the case, I should have submitted myself, because I am interactive. I have a Facebook and I have a Twitter, and everything that I put on my Facebook and Twitter comes from my own brain, so therefore I am interactive content as well as a benevolent being.
Right. We did not nominate ourselves in that category because we do not create an interactive / social media experience for our viewers beyond our live show.
Right.
I mean, but if you were to look at some of the other nominees,
apparently we are.
Apparently we do, and we are.
And this show
because I'm sorry, but and I do a live show. We answer questions from the chat room. We very rarely ever take live calls on the show. That's kind of a treat on the podcast because, you know, that's not best interactive / social media experience, in my opinion, for the viewer.
Right.
But then we saw a lot of that. We have a live chat room and we answer questions live. Well, whoop-de shit.
So do we.
What else? We have a Twitter in addition to our show. And we answer questions from our comments. And what else? I think of that category, interactive / social media experience, and correct me if I'm wrong, to be just a hair's breadth shy of transmedia.
Right.
For you to really have an interactive experience, it needs to include your website, your Twitter, your Facebook, your YouTube. You need to really involve the fans in an immersive experience when they're watching your show. Right. So they really feel that there's a give and take there. If you didn't do that, I mean, you have to know when you're writing something like we have a Twitter, that's not it. Temporary leave of your senses. Temporary leave of your senses. And you know what? You cannot blame the IAWTV or anybody else for you nominating your show in that category because you didn't know.
No, and not only that, but here's the thing: if there were legitimate shows in that category that did have additional supplemental I can't even talk. But there were shows that had legitimate content that fitted this category. Okay, and if
there were shows that got a yes vote from me because they legitimately fit the category.
And if they. And I'm sorry to say this, but if they get
and Anthony, I would say they could be either fiction or nonfiction.
Yeah, you can have
there
plenty
are
of
fictional shows out there that really
things.
do give you that, and we're not going to point it out yet because we're going to do a show about it. But there are shows that do give you a truly interactive experience. I will tell you one show that does it. Now that the voting is over, You Solve. Mm-hmm. That's a truly interactive experience because they had two separate endings.
Yeah, and you know what? You failed. She died.
Yeah, she died. Guys.
You didn't get to her in time because you didn't pick the order of things that had to go.
Cupid and Eros, again, like Seth said, interactive.
Yes, with Joe. And
there were shows that I thought should have submitted themselves in that category and didn't. And many, many shows that I thought. And you know what the other one was that was a problem?
Wait, no, hold on. Before we move.
Okay, but we do have things to show.
Yeah, but from that, all I'm saying is at the awards when this comes out, if 5 nominees or 4 or how many they're doing for the category are all those shows that we have Twitter, we have a Facebook, blah, 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 and none of them that actually had legitimate content get through,
that content's going to look ridiculous.
Dropping the mic, walking out the door.
Boom.
Pong! And I'm out.
You know what? Yeah.
Anyway, as you were saying with the next one.
And the other one that I had a similar problem with was best supplemental content. And again, perhaps we might want to just flesh this out for the community. Maybe talk about what it means. Your Twitter feed does not qualify you for best supplemental content.
Neither does your RSS feed.
No. Unless it
I
want to see music videos. I want to see comic books. I want to see, hand me that.
Careful.
I dropped the base, but either way, I want to see this.
I want a Michael DeVanity fucking figure. That's what I want.
That is from Heroes of the North.
Yes, which I wish they had been nominated.
They didn't put themselves in for any of those categories.
But that's okay. I gotta get I don't know where the base is.
I want to see, like, motion comics. I want to see blogs or extra videos from your characters. I want to see your characters have a Twitter and a Facebook.
It's a fully immersive experience if you have a show like DeVanity, and then you have all of the characters have their own Twitter, and they all have their own Facebooks, and they all do their own thing in character. Now, that's a lot of work. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that is supplemental content that enables your viewers to interact with things and people and objects that they normally wouldn't outside of a show.
Those were just the two kind of major instances where we went, what? But moving on from that...
Did you get hit in the head with a gum stick?
Somewhere in the community, we are all in different pockets talking amongst ourselves and saying to people, you've got to be more realistic. Just because you're going to knock the mic over, stop it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the bait that you dropped.
And this is what we said right before the show. Just because you can, members of the IAWTV, submit yourselves for 5 awards, doesn't mean you should. If you only belong in 2 categories, only submit yourself for 2. And I think maybe it's because we're new, maybe it's because, we haven't done a lot of this, but it was hilarious to read some of it. And these are smart creators. That's why I think they just took temporary leave of their senses and then got them right back and just didn't think anything of it.
They stuck their head out the window and got hit by a 2x4.
Okay.
Just saying. Shows! What are we talking about today? Riley would like a life-size doll of Bianca. So
I bet she would.
You'd never capture Katie's eyes, though, in something like that.
No. Wait till you guys see the trailer for season 2. Like, really? Woo!
And all the men are pretty, and all the ladies are pretty. It's just fantastic. Sorry.
And really, after this show, you need to go watch the Hot Mess video from Pretty the Series, and you will never, ever, ever think of Brendan Bradley the same again. Okay, so the first animated web series that I want to show you guys a trailer for is and I'm not a big fan of Flash animation. I'm not. I like old school animation. Mm-hmm. I want to see, hand-drawn, hand-painted backgrounds and cells and everything. I like stop-motion animation.
That's even cooler.
But this is a Flash animated show that just recently premiered on Mondo Media's channel. It's called Off the Curb. What makes it interesting is that one of the guys in the show is the voice of Garrus in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And
the other
also
one is Saren.
Cedric Yarborough, who played Deputy Jones on Reno 911, is also a voice in the show.
He's a mess. And
the trailer is actually part of a larger episode called Monsters that is freaking hysterical. So this is the trailer for Off the Curb.
And this is the thing we was talking about the last time. And I'm sick and tired of having to tell y'all that Frankenstein will whoop Dracula's ass.
Oh, hell no. But Dracula will suck Frankenstein dry. Yo, y'all know what other monster will suck you dry? Who that?
What?
Willie's mama.
That's cold-hearted shit.
The longer Monsters episode is hilarious.
The conversation that they have is great.
Yeah, it really is. I thought it was quite good.
Because it's an age-old question. What original monster would kick whose ass? It really is. Mm-hmm. Who's the better? They're all equal. Sorry.
It's funny. It's very, very funny. And
well, it's funny people.
It is funny people. It is funny people. Now, not all of these shows are. What?
Michael's like, that was awesome.
Wait till you see you need to watch the longer episode, Michael, because it's funny.
Yeah. That's just a teaser.
That's just a teaser, edited together kind of teaser of their whole episode. Now, the next one...
That is so right, Seth.
Here's the bad thing about the next one. It's called Cliff's Notes. And when they first announced that this web series was going to be done, I actually made fun of the concept.
Why?
Because I thought it was going to be stupid. And I thought...
But haven't you ever read a Cliff's Notes?
Yeah, I used to use them all the time.
Yeah.
But this is actually funny.
Yes.
And it's well done.
Yes.
And it is, I'm assuming, branded from Cambio.
If not, they're going to be in trouble.
They are. It's off their website. And it's pretty funny. And I think you guys would actually like it. And I'm totally eating my words about Cliff's Notes. I actually think that it's pretty good for an animated series. And it's worthy of being seen, especially by, kids in school. I think they would find it interesting. So here's the trailer for Cliff's Notes.
The best best-selling author of all time, over 400 years of history. And now, his classics come to life in a whole new way.
Hey, I'm Cliff, and these are my notes. To the Fortress of Bookatoo!
Cliff's Notes, Mark Burnett and Coalition Films present Shakespeare's masterpieces, animated. 6 minutes each of pure entertainment, intense drama, non-stop laughs, and of course, good old-fashioned backstabbing. Cliff's Notes Films, only on Cameo.
Boom! What a play, and the play's the thing. All right.
What do you think?
Hey, it works in its own way.
I think it is awesome. I really do. I'm eating my words because I didn't think it was going to be good, and it absolutely was. It's a great example of what a branded show can actually be.
Yeah.
It was good. And for those of you who are wondering where Justin is, we are going to show an intro to one of Justin's shows before we're done, Sketch 22. But he does so many shows that we like, especially Sketch 22 and The Big Bother and Jim Shorts, that I tried to get a hold of him today to see if he had a trailer or if we could use his reel. And I didn't want to do that unless I had heard back from him. So we're going to talk about Sketch 22 as we did at the top of this show. For those of you who are in the chat room who weren't here at the top of the show, we did talk about Justin because no discussion of animation in the web series space would be complete without him.
Justin, yeah.
And we will do a show where we talk about Justin and all the work that he's done.
Because he's doing stuff for Pretty, too.
Because he is about to do
the
Unicorn Show for Pretty.
Come drop the unicorn.
But I love Cliff's Notes. I love that he went to the Fortress of Bookatoo.
Yay! Is it like the Fortress of Books with attitude?
To the Forces of Bookatude.
Fortress.
See, you're not a geek and you're not a nerd. You have Bookatude.
That was smooth. How long have you been working on that?
Did you like that? No, I haven't, but it just came to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The next one is one of my favorite animated series and my favorite overall series, one of my favorite interactive series, one of my favorite series with supplemental content that came along while I was voting. And it's one of the reasons, the rest of these are reasons why we wanted to do this. It's why we're doing this continuing series of shows, is the shows that we are finding that kind of fell through the cracks, and we found them while we were voting on submissions to the IAWTV Awards. And that is Explosion Bus. Now don't show it yet because I want to talk a bit about it. I hope that when you all were voting, if you had the opportunity to vote, that you you checked out Explosion Bus and you really paid attention to the humor. Because it's funny. It is laugh out loud funny in spots. And it's subtle. And I love the animation style. What did you think?
Of Explosion Bus? It makes me laugh, which is really good. And I forgive its animation.
Jonathan Katz does a voice.
Yeah, I know he does. As soon as I heard it, I was like, it's Dr. Katz.
He plays John Gold, the teacher / comedian.
Exactly. Yeah. And as soon as you hear me, like, dude, it's Dr. Katz before he was Dr. Katz. And that's immediately where I went to in my head. With everything's like, oh yeah, when I watched animated shows on, like, Comedy Central. Mm-hmm. Even though I wasn't supposed to.
And the show was created for the web and intends to stay there.
Yes, which I like. So.
It has 7 episodes, I believe. Let me check here. Yes. And they are about 18 minutes per episode.
Right.
But it is really phenomenal. And if you haven't had the chance, and I'm checking to see if anybody's saying that they have actually seen Explosion Bus. If you didn't have a chance to check it out, or you have never heard of it before, you should definitely check it out. So here is, they had a really long trailer, So here is just a bit of the trailer for Explosion Bus.
Dr. J.
Britney Spears.
No. Tom Brady.
Nope. D.B. Cooper.
Madonna.
George Maharis.
No.
Bruce Willis.
The Shirelles.
No. Anne Blythe.
Tom Cruise.
No.
Your students' test scores are going down every single year.
That might be true, but very slowly. You know, it's a slippery slope.
Well, that's my point. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, but nobody says that about Mount Everest.
This play, I adapted, as I do so many of the plays we do here. It's based on a very popular movie with a stunning cast, Inglourious Bastards.
The other way to look at it is that the amount of kids who enjoy taking my class is going up, almost in direct proportion to my scores going down.
Instead of Nazis, we went another way. We went kind of a more fun way, where it's just bullies.
My kids, they think I'm hilarious, and they...
John, I really don't think so.
Why don't you be the judge? This is a joke I told this morning. You know how Staten Island got its name?
No, I don't.
Well, Columbus and his men were looking for America, and they're sailing, and one of his sailors spots land. Instead of saying, "Is that an island?" he said, "Staten Island?" Spots land, and he says,
Staten Island.
Staten Island?
Nope.
Staten Island?
Staten Island. Staten Island?
Staten Island?
Staten Island? Staten Island. Yeah.
I love when she says the test scores are sliding, and he's like, that may be true, but slowly. It's a great show. It's one of the ones that I liked out of a lot of the shows that we saw. And I know it's not technically animation, but I liked it.
Well, and you still have to you have to kind of like that humor as well. And as well as, like, if you like Dr. Katz, you will totally love the show.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But yeah.
I thought it was great. So, and I hope that, you guys will check these shows out. Just because it's animation doesn't mean it's not a great web series and isn't worthy of watching. I think they are.
Dog's trying to smother herself.
Huh?
The dog's trying to smother herself.
So let's talk about the next 3 are sci-fi based.
Yeah.
2 of the 3 have quite a bit of content out there. The third is still, I think, in a fundraising kind of post-production world.
Yeah.
And then the final show will be the bit from Sketch 22. So the first one is called Chronicles of Humanity.
Oh, we're showing.
And, no, well, okay, not yet, but
go ahead. We're good. No, we're good.
Okay,
here we go.
Chronicles of Humanity.
Crossroads Station, this is the Transport Nightingale, requesting permission to dock.
The colony was devastated by the blast, and it is currently unknown if there are any survivors.
Your daughter is a problem.
She won't say a word.
I'm convinced it was more than just an accident.
Naval forces are closing on our ships.
She aided the miners in their revolt.
I don't want to be remembered as having started a war. I just believe that my people should be given better equipment. Safer working conditions.
I'll make sure the story's heard.
Now those miners are all dead.
I offer you the chance to surrender now, before the situation escalates.
Launch interceptors. Powered weapons.
Destroy them if you must.
You wouldn't dare.
Open fire.
Have you seen the devastation? How could this happen?
What is the meaning of this attack?
They'll just kill us. Just like they did that Titan.
Make sure There are no survivors.
If there's something more going on here, the people involved won't be happy about the truth being uncovered.
I swear to God, that's Felicia Day.
I don't think it is, but it sounds like her.
It sounds just like her.
Just like her.
But yeah, it's and you know that's
it's like an adult, you know, animation, and it's kind of like watching a lower end PS3, maybe a PS2 game.
It's like
without having to play it. Like one of the
watching
games with a really good story and not having to play it.
It's like watching an ONE game. Really, I mean, good as Double Helix is kind of like that. But yeah, I mean, I like it, and the story's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really interesting to watch like Cliff's Notes, Explosion Bus, and then Chronicles of Humanity like back to back, and just see the different things. And I mean, I think Chronicles of Humanity is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the story is really good, and I'm used to that kind of animation because I play a lot of video games, and I watch other people play a lot of video games. Right? I mean, that's what we do when I'm playing.
I told you.
You were right. I'll be damned. It is Felicia Day.
Yeah. Oh, it's like nobody sounds like Felicia Day. Felicia Day is Felicia Day.
That's her.
That Felicia Day.
I didn't even
know.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
That's very cool that she did that. I mean, I think the show is very, very good. Because I'm a sucker for a good sci-fi story too, and so are you. That's why you play Mass Effect. It's why I play Dead Space. You know? That's why.
It is.
And if there was, you know, those kinds of shows, we would do it. That's why I like Red vs. Blue. It's why we were looking up different Machinima shows today, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of, the next one that we want to talk about is Frontier Prelude to Darkness, which is another sci-fi animated show that kind of fell through the cracks, right?
Yeah.
But has a lot of content out there.
It does. And, I mean, this one's more like a first port PC animation style.
Yeah.
And for some people, I know that that's very hard, but at the same time, it has a great story. And the opening episode is fantastic. And I thought I would hate it because I'm such a stickler for the things I see visually.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, I completely sort of transposed what the animation was with the story, and the story was greater than the animation, and it made it that much better.
The story was definitely greater than the animation in
But I had to know. I had to know what was going on. So, here's the trailer.
Prelude.
Frontier.
Prelude to Darkness.
Sir, my wife and child are on the Nile Road. I'm sorry, Major, but we have to get out of here.
You went into Spec Ops right after the Van Gel mission. I guess your boss Hal thought you were valuable enough to drag back in. You've been reactivated.
3 days ago, a science vessel of ours disappeared behind enemy lines.
Our ship's being sucked into some kind of wormhole.
What the hell is Project Hades?
She's still alive, Rick. I know it in my bones.
Welcome to the big time, buddy.
Let's finish this.
Right, we're sitting ducks. Get on the ground now!
Don't think for a second that I will ever forget what you did.
That means it's spreading up there. Multiple contacts coming out of light speed.
Fire!
It's good.
It is. It's got a great story.
And that opening, I kid you not, if you ever watched Babylon 5 or anything like that, with that first episode where you see the battle on the basically the destruction of that ship that his wife and kid are on, it's fantastic. Because you get swept up in what's going on, and it totally just, I liked it.
And I really, Bernie Sue, I really hope that we do get to meet Bernie Burns, because I admire what he has done with Red vs. Blue.
Yeah.
The only reason we didn't have that in this category is because you don't consider machinima animation.
It
is, but it isn't.
It is, but it isn't.
It's an art form all to itself.
It is, exactly.
Machinima is an art form all to itself, and not all of it is good.
No, not all of it is good, and a lot of it people don't know about. And they just think, oh, Red versus Blue, and they're getting permission from Bungie and blah. I was like, no. When he first tried to do a live action Red versus Blue, cost $9,000 to try and do. And then he went out and bought 4 Xboxes, the game, and the cables, and everything else that he needed for $600, and look where he is now.
But it's labor intensive.
It is extremely
heavily
labor
intensive.
You have,
and we've seen some good machinima and some really bad machinima.
Shitty machinima, and it's completely different from a fan vid or anything like that. I mean, you actively have to have 4 or 5.
You have to be able to write.
Yeah, well, you have to write. You have to be able to storyboard. You are producing. You are making a feature, and at the same time, using a built-in game engine. And a built-in game and situation, you basically have to create server space and all these other things, and have people willing to play along with you. And it's not really playing, but they're playing these characters as it's storyboarded out for them.
Because they're not playing the game to play the game; they're playing the game to enact a story that you've written.
Right. So I've seen some good ones. Mostly it's done for comedy, but I've seen some really good dramas done with it too. But again, it takes time and dedication and
especially when you see some of these shows that are animated, computer-generated characters, labor-intensive. When you see something like Chronicles of Humanity, very labor-intensive.
Or the stop-motion one.
And then I like old-school stuff, and I found an old-school one that I really loved, but they haven't done anything but 1 episode yet.
But it's fantastic because it's claymation stop-motion.
All they have is their Kickstarter video.
Yeah, and
the other one with the female character and the...
Oh, yeah, the truly old-school animation.
Yeah, with hand-drawn backgrounds and characters colored by Photoshop.
Crap, I can't remember the name of it. I know I saw it because I saw it from Infinite Santa, which is another one that uses animation, but that one's just a little whacked out.
We're going to be doing more than one animation show, but we have to get permission to use the clips. So, the next one I want to talk about is another sci-fi one. And yeah, I would love to go to South by. Whether we're going to be able to pull that off.
Rooster Teeth is impressive. Lived in Austin. It's fantastic. Dude. But
because this, I believe, this next one is it Machinima? I didn't think so. But I know it's named after a video game.
Oh my god, King's Quest. You remember that game? Michael was saying that watching these reminds him of playing King's Quest. Dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
The next show is called Masters of Orion. And it's a new web series.
As the dog snores
that's coming.
into
I
the
believe
mic.
their trailer is all that's out. I'm not sure off the top of my head if it is based on the Masters of Orion role-playing game.
Mm-hmm. It could be.
It could be.
I'd have to look more into it. I'm not very familiar with the Masters of Orion. I used to be, sort of.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with the game itself. Are you?
Not as much as I should have been considering.
Because it was a computer strategy game from like the 90s.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. And even if it is, I don't care. But this looks like it's going to be amazing. It's called Masters of Orion.
I don't know what they're using. It looks like they're using Poser,
like if you read about it, it does look like it is based on the computer game.
Right. Which is interesting. I don't and to me what it looks like is they're using a combination of Poser and 3D oh god, what is it? I can't even remember the name. But just based on the models and some of the stiffness in the faces that I've seen. But I mean, it's unless you're.
But the original game, it said, and I've just looked it up on Wikipedia, was a turn-based 4X science fiction computer strategy game released in '93 on MS-DOS.
Yeah.
So
it was a DOS game.
It was a
and
DOS
that's
game.
what some of these. That's what I think. Michael was trying to get at too. Was that some of these games remind me absolutely of MS-DOS games I used to play. And, going to the DOS screen and hitting the C prompt and typing it all out and having it pull up. Or on the Atari 2600 and future versions before there were PCs, when you went into the DOS... I know, she's so sleepy. The DOS version, I guess the early version of DOS, even though it wasn't called DOS, I can't remember what it was.
But it does seem like it's based on...
On those systems and playing in that fashion.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, Michael, typing in actions and shit.
Yeah. I pick up sword,
walk
enter,
to tree,
rescue castle, enter, turn right, enter, cast spell on wizard.
But Masters, the web series looks like it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a lot of stuff. And a lot of the animated stuff we want to talk to you about in future episodes are very labor intensive. So it's not surprising that you see them do a trailer and then it takes a while for the web series to actually get out.
Right.
Because, animation is labor intensive.
Right, and it's totally a Carmen Sandiego web series. You can have a game show, why not a web series? But it sucks because I see things like this and what people do with machinima, and I go, I could write some really cool shit.
See, Michael says he used to live at Electronics Boutique. I guess that's how we kind of live at GameStop and EB Games right now.
I lived there so much. I worked for GameStop, and then I worked for a comic book store, and then I worked for GameStop again. So
you actually worked for Microsoft.
Yeah. I just
troubleshooting Xbox.
Gradually progressed from working at GameStop to then, working at a comic book store and then somehow working at Microsoft. So, yeah. Because that doesn't make you married to your job. And solving other people's problems makes you want to hurl shit.
We're pretty married to the job.
Yeah.
We're working on boxes. We're so married to the job. Just so we can, get a computer that'll upload our show nice and try and figure out a way to get to Vegas.
I don't mind it.
Awards.
It's nice. It's really light. And,
hey, did you hear the nominees are going to be announced on the 14th?
I know.
Via live web stream.
Like 9 more days.
I know. We're not going to get nominated. I'm not worried about it.
You're going to owe Susan a drink.
Whatever. What do you think?
I don't want to say I don't care. I care. I do. I would love to be nominated. Don't get me wrong. But it's not... Is it
Tanya said solving other people's problems always makes her want to throw shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or kill things. And that's where games come in. But, yeah, it's not going to make me stop doing what we're doing. It's going to actually make me work harder. Especially if I'm not nominated. If we're not nominated, it's going to make me work 50 times harder. So that we will be nominated
next
again,
year.
Or for other things as well. And
right.
If we are nominated, it's still going to have the same turnaround. I'm going to be working 50 times harder to make sure that we maintain what we have so far, and then take it further.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a win-win either way, whether we don't or we do. I'm okay with it.
Yes, it says top finalists in each award category will be announced on December 14th, 2011.
Wow, because ours are coming up too.
Yes, and let's talk about that.
Because we have a special project. Sort of. For people. We need to know if people are available to read shit and tape themselves doing it.
Oh, presenting awards?
No, presenting nominations.
Yes.
Yes. We're not talking about that?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I thought that's where you were going. My bad.
No. And yes, we do vote again after the finalists are announced, because then we have to vote.
You have to vote on the final nominations.
That's
that's
right.
like, we did pre-noms. Pre-noms are done. So after pre-noms, we're gonna get the finalists of those nominations, and that's when the serious shit hits the fan.
Yeah, there's one more round where we will vote on the final.
Right? Is it 4 or 5? It's 5 in each category. Right?
I don't know. 5, I think.
I believe it's 5. So you'll have 5 nominees in each category. And that's it. And then we're in Vegas. Like that's
now
the
for
next
those
step.
of you who
Merry
don't know
Christmas,
anything
Happy New
about
Year,
the
Vegas.
Indie Intertube Awards, how many categories did we have? I have the list right over there.
We had it up to 80 at one point. And
didn't we end up with 82?
No. We
52.
had it at 80, about 82 at one point. We had 82 separate categories and went, holy shitballs. And then we said, okay, we can condense these, we can throw these out. This is just, what the fuck is that? And now we have about, I think it's 54 categories. It's 54 or 56. We made it an even number, sort of. So I think it's 54.
I'm kind of glad that we're coming out with the top 5 nominees now, because it gives nominees
so
and let me tell you why. Because it gives the nominees, those people who are nominated for an award, very little time to be able to make arrangements to get to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may be able to make travel arrangements at the last minute and pay that extra money, but a lot of us, especially indie creators, cannot. And there's a month.
Yeah. And that's a month.
There's a month. And from the day that they announce the awards on the 14th, there's less than a month.
Right.
Between the announcement of the nominees and the actual award ceremony. So you have to make arrangements to get
28
from
days.
wherever you are to Vegas, and you need to make arrangements. And a lot of people did not make arrangements yet because they didn't want to do it unless they were nominated or unless there was a reason to go, which I totally understand, because it is money that's coming out of your production budget, especially if you're still producing a show.
Well, not only that, but you have to think, if you are a production that nominated a multitude of actors, like take Bandwagon for example, where you nominate a cast like they did and other shows did. There's many actor and actress nominations of multiples in one show. So, if you, as the show creator, haven't told those people, oh yeah, by the way.
But there really is a short time between the two. You've got 29 days. 28 days.
Roughly.
To make your travel arrangements, your hotel arrangements, and make sure that you budget for that trip. And if you haven't already done it, it's tough. That's going to be tough.
It will be very, very tough considering CES is a major Vegas event. I know my aunt has told me that when she's been there for it, she lives in Vegas, and when they come to town, everything
because it is
booked.
happening during CES, and a lot of stuff is booked.
Yeah.
So last minute travel and all that stuff. I think if we waited and just did like 10 nominees now, and got down to 5 later, and all, I think people need to know. They need to know ASAP if they're nominated.
Right.
So that they can make arrangements to get there, because I really hope that everybody who's nominated can make it.
Well, not only that,
but when you're talking about some people that may be nominated from Vancouver, who may be nominated from Chicago, who might be nominated from New York or LA or Texas
Florida,
or wherever,
Ohio,
or
Maine. But it's also one of those things. There's also some from other countries, so you have to realize too that if you're nominated,
oh yes, Anthony. Yes, it is.
If you're nominated in some way, shape, or form or another, this is your Christmas present to yourself or from your cast. It's like, and that's
for the next couple of years.
And that's it. I mean, like that's kind of where you are as an indie creator. You have to budget for that, and with it being so close to Christmas and so close to not only Christmas, but you're gonna have to deal with holiday travel and upped rates. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to deal with New Year's travel and upped rates. And the fact that booking now is really hard because you have those holidays, and Vegas is a destination for both of those places for around this time of year. Mm-hmm. And as are many others, but at the same time, it's like, if you haven't budgeted for this, and you need to, if you get nominated and go, oh shit, mm-hmm. well, we'll catch it via satellite or Skype. I hope that that's possible for some people.
Yeah. And then there are those of us who are going regardless of nomination.
Right. And I understand if you can't go or don't feel that you should go because you're not nominated.
And we're hoping to be even more deeply involved than just covering it from the red carpet.
No, but what I'm saying is I have no fault.
I want to host.
With any creator. Well, duh.
Can I host? I'd really like to
let you host.
Anyway, moving on.
But I have no fault for any creator or anybody in the web space at all that says, you know what, if I'm not nominated, I can't go. I get that.
kind of had it over here.
It's okay.
In case y'all haven't told.
I get that because this is a major expense for some people. Even if you do live in LA. If you have a family...
Yeah, and it will make for some interesting elevator rides. Anthony was like, isn't the AVN Awards are there?
Yeah.
The Adult Video
So you're going to have
Awards.
AVN,
the
CBS,
CBS, and us. And it's just... There was for some interesting elevator rides and some... Whoopsie, who is that Jenna? Is that Janine? Is that, not that I know porn stars, because I don't.
But you know what? If I bring my dye back,
I would never watch
we can
porn.
play some D&D. Because you know that shit will be happening
I
in
hit
all
it with my
three
axe.
of those.
If y'all have not seen the web series, I hit it with my axe. You totally need to see it.
You have to watch it.
Porn stars playing D&D, nothing better.
Right? And seriously playing. We're not talking and doing a porn film in the middle of it. No. Honest to goodness D&D playing. That will happen. Because these people play... What else are they doing? This is their job and this is what they do.
We're running out of time there, babe.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I was trying to get to a point and you kept interrupting.
Anyway, I think it's good that they're getting the announcements. I actually think the 14th is too late. I know it takes time to compile them all, but I wish the announcements were being made.
I wish it was Monday.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really wish it was tomorrow since voting ended on the 2nd.
Exactly. The sooner we can get them out, the better. Now, I'm not going to be able to go to the IAWTV chat after this, but I hope all of you will go. Those of you who can will go. I know you're not going to because you're going to go play Batman.
Probably.
Yeah.
I might pop in.
But before I have to go change clothes and get on out to that shopping event.
Oh, dude, we're over.
We have one more.
My bad. I didn't know we were over. I thought we were filling.
And we have to show you a little bit of Sketch 22 because, there are some very familiar voices in this. So this is from the second episode of Sketch 22.
First comes love.
Then comes marriage.
Then comes an unprecedented royal octuplet birth that was the result of fertility treatments implemented to guarantee the continuation of the royal lineage.
It's Will and Kate plus 8.
Will and Kate plus
If you
8.
haven't watched Will and Kate plus 8, you need to, and see if you recognize any of those voices. Okay, sfntv.com tomorrow, the Divinity Season 2 trailer will launch. Gotta check it out. Also, tonight, either before, after, or during the chat, or if you're not going to be part of the chat and you're just a fan of web series, you need to go check out the Hot Mess video on prettytheseries.com.
Yes. Also, for those of you who have been wondering, episodes 14, 15, and 16 hopefully will be uploaded tonight, since none of us will be doing anything online for the next few hours. The reason being is our internet is shit. So it's failed the past couple times. So we apologize for that. Hopefully they'll be up tonight. I'm going to get 14 up tonight.
And we will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Get out there, share some web series, find something new, share it with your friends. And remember, there is no us without you. Good night, everybody.
That was a good one.
The internet. It's not something that you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Surely anyone here has defined what net neutrality is. Tangled up tubes. I just the other day got internet was sent by my staff at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I got it. It's a series of tubes.